Reach for the speed, reach for the whistle, go where the rail may run. Reach for the words, reach for the story, follow the rainbow sun. To a shining time station, where dreams can come true, waiting there for you. So far to travel, so much to learn to know. Friends by your side, hopes to hold on to, who knows how far you'll go. To a shining time station, where dreams can come true. Your own imagination, waiting there for you.
The engines of Sodor enjoy their lives working up and down the many lines that span across the island. Some of them get to travel beyond the island's shores and out onto the mainland, such as Flying Scotsman and Tornado. They leave to do rail tours along the East Coast main line or visit other preserved railways. This does make some of the other engines jealous. One day, Percy was shunting at Elsbridge when Scotsman stopped. Hello there, Percy. A beautiful day, isn't it?
Oh, Scotsman, it's you.
What's wrong, little one? You sound down.
I heard you're off on one of those, rail tours.
Yes, I am. I'm heading up to Scotland. Have you ever been?
No. I used to work on the Great Western as a shunter before coming here. The only time I left was to go to a museum with the others a long time ago.
I see. Do you want me to ask the Fat Controller?
Ask him what?
If you can come. I'm going to a small line for their Gala weekend. Percy was shocked. The idea of leaving the island started to fizzle in his boiler.
Please, if that would be possible.
I'm sure that the Fat Controller can arrange something. Oh, that's my guard. I must be off. And Scotsman left with the express. Later that day, Thomas came in with his coaches and a couple of vans. Hello, Percy. Just got these vans for you. They're off to the Little Western.
Okay, I'll put them with the train the twins are picking up.
You seem very cheerful today, Percy.
I'm going to Scotland, Thomas.
Scotland? Whatever do you want to go there for?
Flying Scotsman's going to take me to a Gala weekend.
Don't be silly, Percy. You're much too busy to go gallivanting off to other railways.
Didn't you want to explore the world once?
Well, yes, but...
So why can't I go? Only seems fair. We haven't left the island since the museum trip.
Yes, but...
Oh, it would be wonderful to travel across the mainland and see all the sights. I could go with Pip and Emma to London.
Percy.
I could see Edinburgh with Flying Scotsman.
Percy.
I might even go over to America.
Percy!
What?
You're blocking the main line.
Oh.
Percy took the vans into the siding and buffered them up to the train when Donald came in.
That be me train, wee Percy. Yes, it is. What's Scotland like?
Scotland? That'd never be a place I thought about in a while. Be careful what you say, Donald. His boiler's full of dreams when it should be full of steam. Why do you ask, Percy?
Flying Scotsman's going and I want to go too.
Is he, nay? Must be Bowness he going to. Bowness? Do you know it? No, I didn't go, but Dougie did during our time with British Rail.
Do you think the Fat Controller will let me go?
I didn't see why not. Have you asked him?
Scotsman is.
He would love to go back to Scotland one day. Thomas just sighed as his guard blew his whistle. Now there are 2 daydreamers. Later that day, Donald was back at the Little Western. Hello, Donald. Dougie, you ever thought about our home? Scotland? Of course I do. It'd be nice to go back one day. Aye, I wonder if Fat Controller would allow it. I was just coming to see you two about that. The Bowness Railway is holding a steam gala in a few weeks. I was wondering if you two would like to go.
Do you mean that, sir?
Of course I do. You two have worked hard for me over the years, and I feel you two deserve a trip.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Now, I just have to figure out who to substitute you two with. And with that, the Fat Controller walked off.
The twins were ecstatic
and told Duck and Oliver.
That's brilliant news, you two. Hope you have fun while you're away. Bring back a souvenir,
Oliver joked. The Fat Controller said he'd find someone to cover for us.
Oh, that's going to be fun. Probably another diesel. Now, Duck. You know the diesels are suffering like we did. It's up to us to be accepting of them.
I know. Over at Tidmouth, Percy was going on and on about Scotland. Percy, I'm glad you're excited, but can you please be quiet and go to sleep? Exactly. You haven't stopped all day. You're not going, and that's final.
How do you know?
If you go, who's going to run the trains? Percy didn't have a response to this and looked away. He remained silent for the rest of the night. The next day, Scotsman went past Elsbridge Light Engine to the works, but didn't see Percy. Now that's a shame. I have some news for him. Donald and Douglas came into Elsbridge just as Percy was getting ready to shunt. Percy, we be going to Scotland.
You are? I wonder if I'm going too.
The Fat Controller didn't say. I'm sorry.
Oh, I see.
The twins dropped off their trucks and left again, leaving Percy very sad. Meanwhile, Oliver was in shock. He was waiting with a passenger train when he saw a black steam loco coming towards him with a green diesel in tow.
Hello there.
Who are you two?
I'm Jackson. This is Paxton. We're here to help for a few days while some locals are gone.
Are you a 3901?
I am a new build.
I see. I remember your class. A good engine. Welcome to the Little Western.
Why is it called that then?
Most of the engines here are all GWR.
Ah, I see.
It's nice to see some GWR might in action.
Oh, you and Duck are going to get along swimmingly. Hello, Paxton. I hope you're settling in well here.
Thank you. I'm excited to get to work.
Flying Scotsman smiled as he came out of the works. He had his water tender with him. I miss this thing. Thank you for getting it ready for me. Now I must see Percy. Percy was again shunting when Flying Scotsman pulled into the yard. Ah, Percy, I've been looking for you.
I already know,
he said sadly. You do? You don't sound happy about it.
Why would I be happy about it? Donald and Douglas is going with you.
There's more.
There is?
Yes, you and Thomas are coming too. We are? Thomas gasped as he came into the station. He was so shocked he almost ran straight through. Yes, the Baroness practically begged for you two when the Fat Controller spoke to them about the twins. He laughed. They are making it a day out with Thomas event now? That's brilliant! But who will run my line? We will, Stepney said as he steamed in with another 2 engines in tow. Percy smiled.
Hello, Stepney. Who do you have with you?
My brother Fenchurch and Birchgrove. That's brill! Looks like we're going on a trip then, Percy. The 2 engines got excited. They spoke to the Fat Controller about it the next day. A week later, the 2 tank engines sat at Elsbridge, their fires cold. Take good care of Annie and Clarabelle for me, Stepney.
I will. Enjoy your trip.
Flying Scotsman pulled in with some coaches. Have you 2 dropped your fires?
Yes.
Perfect! Fenchurch shunted them behind Flying Scotsman as they set off. They picked up the Scottish twins, and soon they were racing across the island. Percy was surprised.
How can Scotsman pull all of us in these coaches?
This is easy, he called back. I am used to much heavier trains than this. They raced through Vickerstown and soon they crossed the lift bridge. Percy got excited. It'd been years since he'd left the island. The train kept going through Barrow, where a lot of people were waiting to take pictures. Soon they were out on the main line, racing through the country. We have to make a stop at Edinburgh first, Scotsman called back to the others. They pulled into Waverley and everyone cheered. A man in a suit got on board the train and they set off again. Soon they were coming off the main line and stopping at a little station.
Are we here?
Sort of. Now we got to get shunted around a bit. When they had left Edinburgh, the crews had all started to steam up the other engines. Now they all had a nice head of steam. Scotsman ran around the train, all the engines pushed them up to the top station at Bowness. Percy was amazed at the sight, and seeing Scotsman on a branch line. When they got to the top station, the engines all uncoupled and ran into the yard.
It's so busy in here, yet they don't have any industries up this end of the line.
That's because it's a heritage line, Percy,
said a black tank engine.
Ginty? Is that you?
Percy looked and gasped.
Yes, Percy. Long time no see.
Pug? You're here too?
Sure am. We're visiting from down south. The man from the train walked over.
Hello, you guys. I'm the chairman of this trust. I hope you all have a good time here.
We will.
Pug, Ginty and Percy spoke all night, keeping Thomas up. The next morning, Thomas woke early to the sound of someone lighting his fire. Ah, nice early start. Wonder what jobs I'm doing today. One of the volunteers laughed.
No jobs for you today, laddie. It's getting used to the line for your cruise.
Oh?
Lots of light running and empty stock moves for you.
Thomas smiled. Easy day then. It was not an easy day. His crew bumped him on some buffers. They kept him running slow. He didn't always stop in the right spot. Are you sure you're my crew? Thomas asked jokingly. Yes, Thomas. Just getting used to the line. Mistakes will happen. The volunteers ran with Percy a few times, and Donald and Douglas as well. Scotsman stayed up at the top yard smiling. Aren't you going to do any training? Me? Nope. My crew knows this line already. So do I. Lucky. Such a short line. How do they get anything done here? Remember, this is a heritage line. It's run by volunteers at the weekends only. All they ever do is run between stations for people to enjoy the ride. That's a sorry existence. Whatever happened to being really useful? But they are really useful in their own way. You see, Thomas, when railways like this host galas or have visiting locos, it brings out more visitors, which helps pay to keep the home fleet and rolling stock going. It also means more people go into the towns and villages along the line to spend money in the cafes and shops. It helps everyone in the area, not just the trains. Thomas looked down thinking. The next day they were all up early getting steamed up. It was the first day of the gala. All the visitors took photographs of the Sodor engines. Percy was enjoying all the attention. The twins took the first train and Percy got ready with freight.
Is this going to be loaded with anything?
Nope, it's a demonstration set. You just run up and down with it empty all day while people take pictures, and then tomorrow it'll go out first in the morning and then be shunted away.
And he set off smiling wide when Donald and Douglas got back.
This is easy. It's so light I will hardly work my pistons.
He enjoyed his run. He got to the second to last station. His crew uncoupled him to run around. He got back to Bowness and saw Thomas leaving with the passenger train.
This is heavy,
he protested as all the coaches were full. Percy laughed and then felt a bump from behind.
What was that?
Just me, I'm taking this next set. He got some water after uncoupling and sat and watched the trains come and go. He had to wait his turn to run again. All day this went on. He was on passenger trains, then the freight train, he even double-headed with Ginty. Percy was having so much fun that he didn't even notice when people started to go home and everything stopped.
Aren't we running any more trains?
No, everyone is going home for their dinner.
But it's only 9.
Thank goodness. These coaches are heavier than I remember. It's been a while since I pulled something that heavy. The engines laughed. Well, that's day 1 of 3. We have 2 more days of this. Okay, I'm having a lot of fun being back home. Same, it's been years, but the tracks feel so good under me wheels. It's just steel, Thomas muttered looking at the track. Ah, but it's Scottish steel. I'm sure you will say the same when you get back to Sodor. Thomas just rolled his eyes and went to sleep. The next day they did it all over again. Thomas was having a drink of water when Puck came in. What's wrong, Thomas? I'm just worried about Annie and Clarabelle. Those are your coaches, aren't they? Yes. Stepney and his friends from the Bluebell Railway are looking after them. Ha! Then they'll be fine. I've been down to Bluebell and it's a lovely little line. Is it? Oh yes. Lots of very old engines and coaches. They have a Victorian set that they run down there. It's beautiful. I see. Either way, I'm feeling a little homesick. Why do you think Donald and Douglas are so happy? This is their home, remember? How old were they when they arrived on Sodor compared to you? I don't know. 51, Thomas, Douglas said as he pulled in. Me and Donny were 51 when we arrived on Sodor, more or less anyways. Oh, I was only about 12. Ah, laddie, we spent over 50 years up in Scotland before we came to see Sir Topham's help. We didn't want to leave Scotland, but we were destined for scrapping. If we didn't run away like we did, I don't suppose either of us would be here today. We only have one of our class left outside of Sodor, and she's over at Straps Bay. What's her name? Callie, after our old company. I'm sorry I was rude last night, Douglas. Dinny fuss yourself about it. You're a wee long engine and we didn't expect you to understand. Hey, I'm 102. I'm 118, so shush. Douglas laughed. The three spoke for a little bit longer before Thomas had to go on to the next run. By the time the weekend was over, all the Sodor engines were exhausted. It'd been non-stop with either taking trains or photos.
I've never been so happy. Yeah, I'm so exhausted.
Tell me about it. You stop for water and you're bombarded by people taking pictures. Well, get some rest, little ones. It's homeward bound tomorrow. The engines slept deeply that night. Thomas and Percy were shaken awake when they were shunted by a diesel into the train to go home. Morning, young pups, Scotsman laughed. The odd-looking train departed.
Why so early?
We need to slip past the morning commute at Edinburgh. The cavalcade raced home and were welcomed back with a chorus of cheers and whistles. The adventurers come home! Oh, was it, little Percy?
It was spectacular, sir. But I do miss my jobs here, though. Thank you for letting us go.
Not at all, Percy. I want all my engines to be happy here. If any of you are interested in visiting other railways, let your crews know. I'm sure I can work something out. With that, the engines all tooted their whistles happily.
Reach for the wind, reach for the whistle, go where the rail may run. Reach for the song, reach for the story, follow the rainbow sun. To a shining time station where dreams can come true, waiting there for you. So much to see, so far to travel, so much to learn to know. Friends by your side, hopes to hold on to, who knows how far we'll go. To a shining time station where dreams can come true. Your own imagination's waiting there for you. To a shining time station where dreams can come true. Your own imagination's waiting there for you, waiting for you.